In today's video, how much to charge as a freelancer. You have a skill and you want to put it online. Here's how you do it, and here's how you price your services. Everybody has a theory about how to price their services. I'm going to cut into the meat of it, teach you how to price your services as a freelancer, and teach you how to build a profitable business from the ground up. If you're a freelancer, you are a business. Even if you have not registered a business name as a sole proprietor, or you don't have a different name for your business, you are a business by being a freelancer in the market. So that's the first thing to understand. I'm not saying don't be grateful, but don't overvalue the fact that people trust you and are paying you. You should never be over the moon about that happening. In fact, you should be level-headed. You should understand, okay, I'm receiving payments for services. Now it's time to get my head out of the clouds and do a good job. And that's the most important thing. That was something that really set me back in the first years because I had a bit of imposter syndrome. I thought, okay, I'm doing a voiceover project for a whole month. I'm only going to charge $300 for it because wow, I got paid hundreds for my voice, you know, and I was just amazed in those beginning years when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. I was a kid and I was just so over the moon with the fact that I was getting paid, and that was one of the things that set me back so far. It wasn't until like 5 or 6 years that I actually realized, like, hey, you should be charging over $1,000 for everything, for the amount of time that you're putting in. I looked at the industry standard, at how much other freelancers were charging, and I said, hey, I'm providing, I don't want to say more value, but I was providing more concrete deliverables, like 4, 5, 6, 7 deliverables, and I was charging only hundreds. I was providing more results, so these clients were going and selling clients and making like 10 times more than they were paying me. So that was the second indicator. So I had all these different indicators, but such low self-esteem in those beginning stages, and I don't want you to have that. So here's my concrete answer for you. No matter where you are in the world, you must charge US dollars. Trust me, you're asking whether that works or not? Yes, it does. You are the business, you set the rules. So if someone in Canada is gonna pay you, tell them I charge US because I work internationally. Use this line. I work internationally, my clients come from all around the world and they find me online. And because I'm an online business with a large clientele and a large client base, I charge in US dollars. What that's going to do is it's going to assume that generally, wherever your currency is, unless you're in Great Britain, which is going to be different, then you can charge in pounds. But for everywhere else in the world, it's likely going to result in a higher currency, for the most part, right? If you are in Canada, if you are in Australia, if you're in the Middle East or anywhere really, and a US dollar is a great place to start basing your pricing rate. Next, I would never charge less than, set a minimum and do not set that below 1,000. Okay, if you think you're not providing enough service, okay, then you need to provide more service to meet $1,000, because that is how you're going to be able to start paying for things. Like, how much is your rent? If one client is a lot of work, and if you're expected to do a good job, you should be charging at least 1,000. And I would go to say at least 1,500. 1,500 should be your base rate. Anybody who can afford to hire anybody for any services consistently could pay $1,500. If this person has no savings in their savings account, if this person does not have extra money where they can use and invest in direct places, they should not be your client. No matter how small you are as a freelancer, because they will not make you profitable. They will just make you pocket change, and that's not what you want. You want consistent income in the thousands so that it begins to compound, that you can use this money. And ideally, even that's not enough. So I want to change your mindset from the beginning. You need to charge at least $1,500. And if you're really unconfident, you can charge $1,000. Do not try to make all your bread and butter off freelancing in the beginning stages. It's going to help a lot to be able to have a job on the side, to be able to possibly build passive income on the side through course teaching, to doing something else while you're doing this, in order to say, okay, if I don't make the sale for $300, I'm not going to go hungry. I'm aiming for $1,500 sales, and this is going to set you apart from the competition. What I want you to do is take a look at everybody else in your industry and then ask yourself, okay, if I'm going to charge a minimum of $1,500, what sort of value do I need to provide to be able to meet that threshold, to be able to provide more than that value than what they're paying me in cost? And then that's a great way to price your services. That's how I do it. I say, okay, this is how much my business needs to make to be sustainable. I know my skills are really needed and they cannot be replicated easily at all. You know, I give my operations away. And I know people can't replicate it. They don't have the journalism skills and the contacts that I have specifically, so I give my operations away. And I say, okay, you know what? What I need to do is reverse engineer it. How much does my business need to make? How can I provide that value in order to generate that revenue? And then I charge for those services. services. I create a lead generation machine. I create a lead generation machine through content marketing. When the leads come in, I know my base rate. I say we start at $1,500 and I have the script down. You know, we start at $1,500, and for larger cases that are slightly larger when I have to fix your online reputation, costs around $2,000. Now, in more extreme cases, it can cost more than that, but that's generally our price range for B2C. So I know that for a fact. So that's how you should price your services. From there, you can price around $1,000, $2,000 if you have services like app development, or you have larger services, then you need to double the rate that I just gave you. So that's a really good idea for starting point and where you should start out. In terms of actual concrete pricing structure, what I recommend doing is, because I'm very active on this channel, drop me a comment down below and ask me questions about it. And I'll be happy to jump in and give you a free recommended pricing point that I recommend. I also have a consultation call over here in the description down below, and you can book one with me. It may be geared towards international students. To fill out the information on Calendly, I can have a 1-hour conversation about pricing your services as well right here, and I'd be happy to help you out. So thanks again for watching the video. I hope this helped, and good luck pricing your freelance services.